That tale was mostly true, and this one's mostly too. For the sea remembers you, but forgets the lies you knew. Oh, they say we're wanted in Procampur. They say our luck is running out. When you get lost in the Underdark, will anyone hear you shout? Do you ever stop and wonder what's beneath the sea of fallen stars?
Hello, good evening, and welcome to session 66 of Fool's Landing, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in the Forgotten Realms, where I will be your dungeon master, and I'm Jamie, joined by four great role players this evening, starting with Chris. Hello.
Boo! I'm Chris. I'm playing Kurza, a full elf wizard scout, level 6 and 4.
Excellent. Next up, we have Brandon. Hello.
Hello, I am Brandon. I am playing a 7th level Shadow Minotaur. Or Shadow Thief Minotaur, excuse me.
Excellent. Next up is Tim.
I'm playing Grish, a 6th level human ranger.
All right, and last but not least, Molly.
Hello, I'm playing Shouder, a Rashami 5th level Wizard Slayer Barbarian.
Awesome. Good to have everybody this evening. And just to recap, here is the XP. This is updated through last session. Nobody's remotely close yet to dinging here, so it'll probably be another session or two before we start to see that. Quick recap about last session. We are standing aboard the Sahagwin vessel to start off this evening. It was manned by a human captain. And during the battle, the captain was knocked unconscious, and when you all defeated all of the other enemies, you found him aboard the ship. And at the same time, when you were searching the ship, you found 4 prisoners. And you were able to free the 4 prisoners, knocked the captain unconscious during the battle, burnt the ship to a crisp, but then were able to stop the flame from totally destroying it, and then ultimately found the prisoners aboard the vessel, where they showed you that they are marked with the same bond that both Kurza and Bart have, and they found out, or you found out, that they were in Westgate when this occurred, and they were ready to leave Westgate when this happened. And then a day or two later, when they were at sea, lo and behold, they were attacked by Sahagwin in a eerily similar fashion to what happened to Bart and Kurza many moons ago. That's really where we're at. We'll pick up here. Specifically, I think the prisoners have been released. The unconscious captain has been tied up and secured. And we can start here. So the notable things here, the captain, I think you guys I don't know that anybody has done anything specific with the captain yet.
We tied him up and
Locked
made
him
sure
up.
he couldn't speak.
Yeah, they tied him up, locked him up, swapped him for the prisoners, freed the prisoners, and then started to speak to the prisoners. And lo and behold, found out from the prisoners that they were on their way from Westgate when their ship was attacked by Sahagwin, and they were captured. And they have since been aboard this vessel. I think more eerily than that, though, is this scene, which is, in speaking with them, someone brought up this fact. Here we go. That our prisoners all bear a symbol on their forearm that is identical to the one that Bart and Kurza have. So I think it's been
Matching tattoos.
It's been deducted that these markings are the first part in this operation that seem to tag people that are targets for whatever reason, the Sahagwins, to attack them. It's very similar to what you all experienced at sea when you left Westgate. And I think what you're realizing now is that had they had their way, you guys would have been in Melkor's tower as prisoners. And I don't know that you've speculated all the way on this, but there's a fear maybe that these are they're being used to raise dead, or they're being used to put into the soul jars. The 4 of them are listed in the NPCs. If you go to NPCs, you can see saved captives. There's 4 captives: Braun, Nalara, Sereni, and Varn. And if you look at them, you can look at their characters and see like short descriptions of them. They're low-level PCs basically. They're young adventurers, let's say. And this was the epiphany that occurred at the end of last session. So I think that's
Where?
most of what I
I'm
remember.
sorry. Where are they at that we can look at them?
Oh, under
In the
NPCs, and then
under.
yeah, and then under saved captives, you can see here's Braun, for example.
Nice. Okay.
So you have a dwarf, I believe, an elf, a half elf, and a human.
And they all have the tattoos like Curza
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Bart.
all
Okay.
4 have it.
Oh my. This does not bode well.
Or
Does
more
not.
victims.
Yeah, it does not. But you've intervened, and so in this particular case, you all didn't know what would become of you, and now you do. And these folks are fortunate that you found them. They were just happened to be aboard the ship when you caught up to it. So I think that's it. Does anyone have anything else they wanted to insert or to add on what's happened the last couple sessions? I think as Molly observed, like we do have everybody's magical items broken out into separate folders so that's more organized, and then that can help Chris and I track the things that need to be identified. So I think like the matter at hand right now, you've been talking with these folks. You need their help probably to run the ship, right? But also to
Yeah.
repair the ship and to get the ship into any kind of working order. It's going to be nice to have these 4 folks with you, but I don't believe that anything has been done yet around that. So it's just been more inspecting what's aboard the ship and talking to these folks that you've had a chance to do. And right now you're just sitting out in the middle of the sea of falling stars, and let's see what the
With
weather
our
is like.
fries.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
So somebody asked about the piece of wood. I got that from Aliana. She gave it to me and said it's a piece of wood and the word ardenta, which is a Procampur word that means awaken, rise. And she said it would aid us in our journey.
Okay.
That's all we know about it.
So I'll let you guys decide what it is you'd like to do.
So we just freed everyone? Like
Just.
when we okay. All right.
Jack is still smoking.
The majority of the battle the majority of the session was the battle, and at the end of the battle when they got aboard the ship, it was a lot of firefighting, and then they found them. So they only spent a little while with them, just getting that basic introduction and being told about where they came from and where they're going. Yeah, so we'll pick up here, and
Let's get them some food and drink and talk to them.
they would be grateful for that. I think that all 4 of them at this point are looking very relieved. They were quite overpowered, and suddenly they're now freed and running the vessel with you. Yeah, they will scarf up any food that you give them. I think you do have fresh water as well. You would have the cup of, somebody has that cup.
The ever-flowing water.
The hard has it right.
Yeah, a cup of endless water. So
Nod, you still got some of the harder stuff, right? Yeah, like sure they want water after what they've been through.
the dwarf wouldn't think of that as
We
water.
actually cured the Procampur Pilsner last time that we.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
A cup. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they used the rest of it.
he was pouring drinks. It was a good excuse to celebrate.
Very good.
I think that between the 4 of you, Curza, I believe, has seamanship or sailing as a proficiency. Does anyone else
Sailing.
have that? Have sailing or seamanship proficiency?
Do any of the 4 former prisoners have any sailing skills? Rope use.
Yeah, two of them seem to have some sailing skill. The human, who is, I believe, Varn, and the half elf, who is Nalara, I believe, is the half elf. Oh wait, no, yeah,
Nalara?
Nalara, yeah, Nalara and Varn both can help with more specific sailing tasks.
I guess we should figure out where the hell we're drifting to first off.
Yeah, so if we zoom out and take a look at the map, you guys can get a sense of where you are. So you are floating on the water here, just, so this would be, oops, that's a little too far. Kind of in the waters between Veritas's tower and Melkor's tower is where you're floating at right now. You haven't gone far at all because you had to track this from the tower. So if you were to be in a perfectly working vessel from here, it would be about 2.5 day journey. But as it stands, the vessel is not working. And so the tides are going to take you where they decide to take you right now, unless you do something to counteract that.
I wanted to find out if we were drifting back towards the island that we just left. Or drifting away from it.
Yeah, you feel like you're drifting toward more due west. That's where you feel like you're drifting right now.
Towards the
Oh,
Isle
so
of Presper.
Towards,
last
yeah, towards the Isle of Presper. I'll turn the boat in the direction that you're
drifting.
so that you know that. So there, it's going pretty much due west. Yeah.
All right. So we don't really have to worry about running into anything in the next few minutes.
Knock on wood. Yeah. You're right now, it's eerie. Like you've either been like sneaking around a high powered lich's tower, expecting something to turn the corner and kill you, or you've been battling at sea. And so this is really, the first time that you've caught your breath in a while and not been directly in harm's way. Like, of course, the sea is treacherous, but it's not a lich's tower. So I think you might all feel relief in that, to be honest. Your current problem is it's not that as bad as some of your old problems.
So we're good for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, how does the weather look?
It's smooth water. It is not stirred up or anything, but again, you're just drifting west.
So how do we get this ship into shape? Is there a way that we can?
Well,
find the spare ropes and sails.
Yeah, you're gonna need. I think the idea was to do a complete search of the ship to see what supplies you could come up with, and then go from there.
They should have duplicate sails around somewheres, and probably at least a little bit more additional rope. But whether it'll be sufficient to get more than a couple of sails up, it'll get us at least some control.
Yeah, I asked Nalara if she wants to help us with that, right? Nalara and Varn?
Of course. Yes. And they will start to gather supplies, anything they think is useful, and they'll bring it to the top deck. And the other two, I think, will probably just start to try to clean up and put things in order, given that you guys are now in charge. So
yeah, let's go check out where the captain would hang out. There might be some more booze there, huh, Nod?
There could be valuable stuff.
All right, so while they're turning the ship upside down, looking for supplies, you guys head over to the captain's quarters to take a closer look at what he might have.
Oh, Tim dropped.
Yeah, he had to drop.
Yeah, I was about to say, where did he go? After you drop, I see it. He said that in chat. Do we still have 4 astonishing fortunes?
Sure. If Tim showed up, he wanted to give you that fortune. All right, so in the captain's quarters, you all make your way in here. And yeah, the quarters is humble. It is nothing special. The ship itself is an older ship, but the captain's quarters is actually clean compared to the rest of the ship. It doesn't look like he spent a lot of time in here. With the way it's set up right now, he probably didn't spend that much time in here other than sleeping, because it doesn't look like there's a whole lot. But you guys can come in and start to turn things over. And let's see.
But yeah, Nod will, as he's walking around, look for hidden floorboards or under his bed, or trying to think. He's also looking for his booze, so maybe a little cabinet that he might find a bottle.
Yeah, I'll look for the same thing.
Have everybody roll a percentile check, please.
Because I've got elves should be able to find it a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chowder specifically would be searching for a shield somewhere on the ship.
Okay.
Also, just keep in the back of your mind, yeah, because remember his shield was destroyed.
Okay.
Is what was destroyed?
His
You'll-
medium shield, yeah.
On that note, there's also Tornik's battle axe got destroyed. So on that note, we are also looking for another battle axe, or Nod can eventually make one if we get to an anvil. Eventually.
Okay. Right, so we have our rolls, and just double check what you guys did. Okay. So the
I think
first.
on the character sheet, there's a way to do. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah. No. If there is, let me know. If there's a different roll.
I think the DM screen, the DM screen, it's the very first one. Active search for concealed secret door. And there's like concealed and a secret up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this case, though, where are we at? Try to find this. All right, you find a couple things here. So as you guys are looking around, he didn't go to a great length to hide things. As you're looking, you do find a little stash of bottles. There's 3 different bottles that you find in his quarters. One of them is completely empty. The other 2 are full, and they all appear to be similar. And it is actually, you see a label on it, and it says Telthor.
Does that
And
mean anything? Any languages we might know?
yes, Chowser, you
Yeah.
recognize Telthor as being a spirit that Rashomon
Oh, wow.
would commonly drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that as fast as I can so no one else gets it.
So
like, this is good stuff. This comes from home.
and so you can grab that, those, like I said, 2 full bottles of that, 1 empty bottle, all have the same labels on them. And then the other thing that you find is a stack of paperwork and papers that has been actually just stashed underneath his bed, pretty almost like he could reach down and grab it and look at it and then put it back and go to sleep. So it was within arm's reach of where he would have been laying this stack of papers. And if you, let me see what I've got in here. So inside of there, you find a ton of papers. As you open this thing, it's got maps, it's got trade logs, it's got all kinds of things. And so if you guys want to go into the handouts folder, there's a folder in the handouts folder, and it's called Vergram's Papers. And I would probably advise starting from the top down together, and we can talk about each of these things that you've found, and if you have any questions or anything about these. But the very first thing that you found is a trade log that seems to list all of the dates and exchanges that were made of the marked, which you've discovered that those of you who were marked were called the marked, and you were being exchanged for books. And this is a log, one of the logs that he was keeping, showing the trade and how much was being traded.
And these dates are
Those are all
what?
valid dates of when he would have visited the tower, you believe.
Oh, so like hammer is a month and number
Those
4
are all
is the
months.
fourth.
Those are all the Ian months that you're looking at there. Yep.
Are we on this list somewhere?
Does it go that far back?
You'd have to. That's a good question. You'd have to match this up with your own
Different boat too.
log, right? And what month was it when you all were captured? But you suspect you're probably not on here because you never got traded. You never made it to the tower. So
True.
the next thing that you find in his papers is a map of the Pirate Isles, which if you all like, the Pirate Isles are due east, so they're in the other direction of the direction that you're floating, but it's not a charted area. There's very few people that can show you a chart of what the Pirate Isles look like other than a pirate. So this is like a labeled map that shows you all of the ports and places of note inside of the Pirate Isles, and something that you would have never seen before.
Must be very valuable.
I'm thinking
the right-
so.
To some.
Yeah.
The other interesting map that you find beneath that is one that shows the currents of the in the Pirate Isles. So this is also
Oh,
an interesting map because it would show you some of the things you'd have to watch out for to navigate through the Pirate Isles, which a lot of people wouldn't know unless through experience. So not just a map of places, but also a map of tides, which would make it far easier to travel. So those two things you find pretty quickly in the stash of papers as well.
Oh.
yeah.
The next thing, and this is a lore dump, so I apologize, but this is like treasure trove of stuff that you're pulling out. The other thing that you find is like a journal. It looks like something that would have been handwritten by the captain, and so this is something you guys can read and try to make sense out of. But I think one of the things that there might be something on this particular note that would stand out.
He owes Winnick too much, huh?
Yeah, when we know him, right? Yeah.
Winnick was
He's the traitor
the captain.
who tried to kill us.
He was the captain of the ship you were on when you left Westgate.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's coming together, isn't it, Curza?
Yeah. He tried to kill us in whatever that first city was.
Raven's Bluff. He tried to kill
Yeah, Raven's
Caddison
Bluff.
and you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And who's Kelrick? Does anyone remember him?
that's not a name that I think you've all heard before, but you take it that he is the Sahagwin chief.
Okay.
Whether he's new or not, but he's not. I don't believe that was a name you've ever heard before.
Kelrick didn't sound familiar.
Okay, so let's go through a couple more here. The other thing that you find is a list of contacts and deals. So he's got this sort of cryptic list of places, towns, and what seems to be like names of contacts that he uses when he's in these different port cities. So it's like a little Rolodex for him of folks that he might, or tricks and tips that he might use when he's in these places. I think in terms of this, yeah, so Westgate, obviously, you've been to Ravens Bluff, you've been to Procampur, you've been to, those would be the familiar ones here.
All useful stuff.
There's
Licensed Arbor Masters. Interesting.
There's some more stuff, so I'll go through these as well. And the next thing that you find is, interestingly, a application for entrance into the Procampur harbor. It looks like he's got some of these forms, like extra forms that would need to be filled out by ships that are coming into Procampur. And he has this in his paperwork as well, where you would fill this out and submit this, and it would fast track your entry into the town. Oops, I don't know what I just did. Okay, but you find that there's a front and back to that form where it asks you different things, the passenger list and business in town and basic information about your travel. So interesting that you have some blanks of that.
Do we know the name of this ship that we're on?
So far you don't know. So far
Okay,
that's not
okay.
been I think the thing then that would really jump out that when you flip this next page is something very familiar. And that would be a wanted poster.
Oh my.
This is for a list of, it looks like many of you, but it lists only Curza on the bottom. And it says, in the company of Curza, foe of Cormyr. And
Oh my goodness.
he's got this sort of soiled wanted paper sitting amongst his papers. And directly below this one is a separate one that's just for Curza.
Oh my.
And that one is quite a bit more money for Curza, something that he was aware of. He would have been aware of you had he seen you, right? He would have known exactly who you are, and he would have been trying to capture you for sure, given the reward, that the bounty on your heads. What else was there? A couple other unfamiliar faces that you find also in his wanted posters. You find this one of Gastabon that seems to be a notorious pirate from the description of his crimes, but he's also wanted by the kingdom of Cormyr as you are, and he's wanted for considerably more than Curza even. I think I got one more wanted poster here that you find. So the last one that you see is for Winnick, and you see that Winnick's reward is 100,000 gold pieces, and that he is the most wanted, if you will, fugitive of Cormyr. So you guys have found yourself on a list of scoundrels, and this might be interesting to to note as you're looking through these papers how most of these faces. Let's see, the last
I don't
thing.
think we've never met this Gastaban character.
No, I don't think any of you would know of him either. And
I seem to remember seeing the guy on that elf on that first one. Can't place.
And then the last thing you find is a letter addressed to Vergrum. And it appears to be from Winnick. So you guys can read a little bit about their interaction, but he is essentially telling him to deliver the marked and to get them there and to get clear of Westgate. It's a little bit of the interaction, but I think what's interesting, of course, is that he's referencing war wizards and Zents down below. So I think those would be two things that would stand out from this letter.
Little one.
It goes back to Thay, doesn't it? The Zentrum?
You're already asleep.
Yeah, the red wizards
But
of
I
Thay.
hope you sleep well.
Yeah, they bitter enemies. Mine.
So that's your treasure trove of paperwork. That's all in the handout folder, so you guys can reference any of that at any time. But those were the notable items that you found here in the captain's quarters, in addition to, I'm going to paste in some actual treasure that you have turned up as well.
I suggest if we have to fill out this application for entrance, we could always, once we find out the name of the ship, we could always call it a prize ship that we managed to capture.
Yeah. So
obviously it has evidence of battle damage.
Yeah, it's got some stories to tell. You could tell the story, but you do find some coin in here as well that he's got stashed in here, and I put that in the chat as well. So that's your quick search of the captain's quarters.
And where are we recording that coin stuff?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too.
I don't know if you're putting it in your bag of holding, I think, maybe.
If we were to split it up, that's how much we would each get.
Yeah, I don't have any money, so yeah, I would
Yeah,
like to
let's split it up. Yeah.
split it up.
Yeah, just split
Okay.
it amongst those of you here. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh. All right. I think that you might hear Varn come to find you and say that, sir, we've turned over the ship and we've found something that might be useful, but just come take a look. And he brings you up to the top deck and he shows you this couple of barrels that they found. And he pulls out from one of the barrels what appears to be some sail material. And it might feel good for a second until you notice that the pattern on the sail appears to be Cormyrean.
Oh, so this was like how they were, disguising themselves?
That's perhaps what they were doing. Or
Oh, the
they
work
sunk a
idea.
vessel and took the sail.
Uh-huh.
Regardless,
Yeah.
probably not good for Cormyr.
It's going to be a problem for us to port into Procampur with the Cormyrean sails, right?
I suggest
But we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
Let's have a discussion with the captain.
Okay.
The captain needs to be healed. He hasn't been healed yet, so he's unconscious.
Does anybody have any medical? Because we don't want to waste magic on it.
No medical, but I do have a solution for the sail. We could theoretically dye it. It would be black sails. We will be the black pearl.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking dye it somehow too. That would be a great way to cover that.
I actually have here. I post
Is it like
weapon black. It is a small little jar, and again, it's meant for coating your weapon and stuff. But I think it'll do the same if we put it on the sail.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to be very
Low.
particular
like
about
it's gonna
how
be-
you use it. You might have enough to obscure some of the logos, but you're not gonna be able to like turn it from purple to
All
black.
the sails. Right.
yeah, is it like embroidered with the symbols of Cormyr?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
a really nice, well-made sail that you would see on a Cormyrean military ship.
So even if you dye it, might still be up close. It might still be apparent.
But we'd have to almost take out the embroidery and leave the balance of the sail, the base of the sail there.
We would need someone who has some skills with needlecraft, perhaps. Maybe
If we just to cut some of the embroidery, we should be able to eventually and slowly.
No,
Pull it all
we
out.
destroyed the last sails and no destroying the new sails.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see.
I'll say, worst case, we use them and just tell them this was what we found on the ship. We claimed the ship. We tell the Earth we found this stuff on the ship. We're happy to give it over. Maybe we don't tell them the whole truth about who we are. Maybe we fix that pretty mug of yours so they don't know who you are. Maybe make you a little bit taller somehow too.
If we can find enough pieces of sails, I have a mending spell to put things back together. But it'll have to wait till morning. But if we can recover as much of existing sails without the markings for Cormier, all the better.
Okay, so it sounds like the plan will be to start to try to modify the sails with a focus on the symbols, knowing you probably won't be able to get all the purple covered. You could start to try to deface the logos instead and try to make them look different. Then
what else do we have in the shop? We've got a lot of charcoal now that might get us some more black.
Plenty of charcoal. Let's see. Let me see what
Any
else.
wine or anything else in that? As far as
I'm out of ale. Sorry.
What's that?
I am out of ale. Sorry.
I don't know why. Like, if there's some inventory on board this ship, cargo,
yeah. So they've
wine. We can get some red coloring out of it and maybe start hiding some stuff.
Let's see. Okay.
Does anybody have any non-magical healing, like just a medic skill or something like that we can wake up the captain?
I think Griff does, but yeah, we can't.
But no Griff.
Yeah. But I could even be wrong about that. I think that we have, or yeah, maybe some aren't. Yeah, see, our healers aren't here.
Yeah. He might wake up in the morning after a day's rest. He'll get a hit point back or something like that.
Yeah, most we can do is just make him comfortable and hope that time brings him around.
In theory, I might have a healing potion, but
I have one, but I'm not going to use it on this guy.
Right.
You mean Captain Bergrom, right? That's who this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how
we definitely want to
address him once he wakes up.
We do want to talk to him.
I've heard you made a lot of bad bets with Winnick. Now, we never made any bets with Winnick, but we did show him the.
If we can ask him, if we can get him around, we can ask him where he's supposed to return after the drop. Right?
Yeah.
Because the note from Winnick says return at once after the drop. Branding cell has another shipment prepared.
Let's take a look and make sure the captain doesn't have any keys or anything like that in his pockets or things like that, in his beard or wherever the hell, or his hair.
Yeah, you can do it.
And then lock him into his own cell.
Yeah, you can clean him up, and anything that would have been on him, I've included in I believe I've included in your list already. Oh, yeah, I take that back. I'm sorry. He is wearing a ring.
Oh, he needs to lose that too.
Okay, so you can.
I'm gonna look at the sharp teeth. Yeah. While they're doing that,
they have one spell left, and that's detect magic.
Yeah,
there is a solid question. While I'm thinking about it, we had a candle. It was like the candle with the black flame or whatever. That was like whenever we were in the tower with the full jars with Schauser last time.
Yeah, but we destroyed that. Remember? You let me destroy.
No. I know. I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
I mean, I think it might have happened off camera. I don't know because we didn't actually play it out or get it. But that was an issue at the time, right? That you were trying to distract.
Instead of destroying the soul jars, hey, play with this candle or destroy this candle. That's the last time that I saw it, and that's why I was curious whatever happened.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about magic items, so that's one that we would theoretically have or not have.
So we're just clarifying that. Yeah, I guess it's up to the game master. I would be happy to see it destroyed. I haven't managed to destroy anything. You guys aren't letting me destroy the magic items. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
Yeah, I think that will be destroyed in this particular case. Do you know where the unidentified? Where's the unidentified list? I thought we
It's
had
under party notes. Party note.
party. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna put the ring in there that you just found because it is magical.
I think there's also another potion I found on one of the tomb god. That might not. Yeah, I saw it somewhere.
I do have 5 pieces of coal, which might be, we could ground up and uses more black on the sails.
Right. So I think after a few hours, you guys notice that the tide is shifting and that your vessel is starting to move a little more to the south now instead of due west.
Yeah.
Oh, so
great.
now we're totally going the wrong way to get this together.
Yeah, I don't have anything that would. All right, so Jamie, if I do a large number of mending spells, is it a 1-for-1? It's a first level spell, but how many would I get if I used a second level spell slot for it? Could I get 2 mending spells for each level 2 spell slot?
Sure.
Yeah. I think that might be worthwhile at this point.
What's your plan
4
with the mending?
spells to put the sails back together.
Oh, just to put them up. Okay.
Oh,
So
wait,
are you
we're
gonna,
And or the rope too.
is your plan to study all of this and then the next day to do a whole bunch of mending and everything?
Yeah, mending and identify.
Okay.
so wait,
Or mending first, identify later.
you want to cut out the embroidery and then mend it? Is that what you're saying, Kurt?
We could probably do that then. We
Or
can try a small section and I'll just use the mending spell to see if we can get tear out the embroidery and then mend the remainder.
Let's see how that would work. You're still gonna have to memorize these spells. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. It says that mending will repair and restore, but it won't alter.
Well, that's why I said we'd have to actually physically remove.
Yeah, you'd have to do some of the work
The
yourself
embroidery.
and then mend your mistakes with the spell. So
And
you
then,
could,
yeah, after we
yeah.
remove all this embroidery, because that's added to the sail.
right,
If we
right.
remove the embroidery, we can then just mend the sail into a sail because that's what's there. The embroidery will be removed. There won't be a logo on the sail anymore because we physically removed it. But apparently I can do 6 cubic feet per level.
okay, so it's probably a lot of feet
Let's see.
for all the sail. Yeah, more than 30. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're using second level spell slots and you're trying, this is doable. I guess I'll say this:
Yeah, I mean,
regardless of whatever spells you use or whatever, you're pretty sure it's gonna be recognizable. Like you could deface the embroidery or whatever, but it's like purple with golden edges, and I don't know what length you could go in a short period of time. Now you could start with some aspects of the sail, but like you're not going to get it to a point where it's gonna look like someone defaced the sail of Cormier.
Yeah, which almost going to be
which
worse.
might be worse.
Almost. Yeah,
I would like to actually see what we can repair of the existing sails first before attempting to modify all the others then.
Yeah, the existing sails are a total loss, unfortunately. They failed
right.
their savings throws that session and they're burnt to a crisp. I'd say, if anything, you were able to salvage a little bit of the rope and rigging that was up here, but you've found new rigging as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but sail-wise, none of that material is really left other than just some charred rags.
So it sounds like our energy is probably better spent elsewhere than trying to modify these sails. Right. So we should maybe just try and get it together, try and get it rigged up as soon as we can. The Cormerian sails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the question for the group here. Do you want to go ahead and put the sails up as they are, or do you want to take more time to prepare a plan?
What's the name of the boat on the back end?
Let's see. I don't know if it'll be. Let me see if it's even visible.
Joining is marked trade law. No, it doesn't have a ship.
All right. I guess it will be visible.
The only other idea I could think is we use the little mini boat and start rowing and towing it along.
Yeah, that's something we can do. We got a long way to go.
Yep. But if you try to identify some things, maybe work on those sheets so the last day we can recover, so we're not just wearing our arms out.
Yeah.
All right.
I look over and shout, "You got this, right?"
I got this bottle here. Who's ready for a drink?
I'll take a sip.
Let's do this. These shark teeth? Is there nothing special about them?
They don't very large
Are they-
teeth. They're really sharp as well. So it's interesting that they would have these. I think you might guess that they use these as a weapon of some kind, almost like a caltrop.
Okay. Yeah, I have an interest in these. I want to make sure they're not magical. Detect magic.
They are not magical.
Okay, good.
But yeah, they're like
Captain's
carved in a
brewing.
way that they can be used as caltrops. You can treat those
Interesting.
as normal caltrops as far as
Cool.
damage and whatnot.
I'll take those. Yeah.
Very cool.
And maybe a spear too. I'll grab a spear.
Oh, there are plenty of spears. There's probably still 7 on that little rowboat. I want to say there's at least 5 on the rowboat.
Yeah, no, he wrote in the thing 18 spears.
No, like on the rowboat itself. That's what's still on the ship. The rowboat should have 5 at least.
Yeah.
Rowing down, Nod kept pitching them.
Someone
sticking them down on the boat.
Yeah, someone kept trying to hit Bart and Nod kept grabbing.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Let's see, I'm trying to find the name of the ship while I'm doing that. Anything else, you guys?
Well, in the morning, it should be daylight. It would have been on the outside and below the deck, so it might not have even burned.
So I'd say that the lettering would be visible. You can see that it's called Tidesworn. But
asking our friends if they Sereni, and Varn and Braun, if they've ever heard of the Tidesworn, how what kind of providence this ship is from. Was it captured by this captain, or was it his ship? Does anyone know?
I know not that they were brought aboard this ship after they were captured, so the first they saw it was when they were captive, and they've been aboard since. So they are guessing that this ship is probably one that would be in the Pirate Isles more than it would be in other areas of the inner sea, but that's just a guess by Varn.
And do we have some boats on the ship? So if we don't go into the harbor, like we could go on a boat, like
you have a rowboat. You have one rowboat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but we're supposed to put the scarf on the bow of the ship when we come into harbor to make sure the right people notice us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody might be noticing us with these sails.
Yeah. You might want to come in under the dark of night and then drop those things or something. I don't know. You'll have to cross that bridge when you get there. But
yeah, put up the sails until we get about 5 miles outside and we're coming around. Okay, they might be seeing us, so let's take down the sails, throw them overboard, and we'll just row the rowboat in, pull in the ship.
So I think that the captives are obviously have really no fear of Cormier. And to them, it's odd that you guys wouldn't want to put these sails up. So I think you guys would notice that they're looking confused while you're spending so much time talking about obfuscating the logo and altering the embroidery. And they're awaiting your order, but at the same time, they're fascinated by why you're trying to do that because they don't know the history and they don't know that you're wanted or any of that.
Right. We didn't share the captain's papers with them.
Right. They don't know
Right.
what they don't know.
And we don't want to necessarily be mistaken for a captured Cormyrian ship either, because I'm sure that would piss off some people. But the Tidesworn is an interesting name for a ship. That might be the easiest way to do it, is just put up some of the Cormyrian sails until we get closer to Procampur, and then take them down and row in.
Well, after more hours of planning and everything, you do notice that the tide again starts to change, and you're moving now easterly.
I think that's our best bet. Just put the sails up. How many of them can we even put up with the limited amount of rigging we have?
You think you could get a majority of them up with the rigging you have? Because you've been able to harvest rope from your own supplies as well as on the ship, and you think you've got most of it. You might be short like one sail, or might have one sail that's loose or something because you don't have everything. You might have to improvise something for one of the sails, but they will start with your order. I'll take that as an order that they'll start hanging the sails, which will take some time to do and will require some climbing and coordination between everyone on the crew here. So we'll go forward with that plan. And then is there anything else anyone wants to be doing? Or
I still have a whole raft of mending spells for this first day. So if there's like cracks in some of the,
definitely,
then I can just like cast them and fix.
That's a great idea.
Planks and rigging.
You know what I envision is that Varn will actually walk around the ship because he's the more experienced sailor of the captives. He'll use some chalk and he'll circle some of the spots that he feels like need to be mended so that the ship has its integrity, and he'll help you, Kurza, to identify the best use for your mending spells in addition to getting the sails up. So
yeah, we don't want to have people fall through a decking or break a rung that they're climbing and fall to their death or nearly.
Right. One of the other things here is that the ship wheel, as you're turning it, you're noticing that the ship wheel it doesn't seem to be changing the vessel's direction at all. So you're not sure if that means it's rudderless or if it's broken or what the reason for that would be. But that's once you get to the point that the sails are up. And I'm going to do a couple of rolls here for our NPCs to see how well they do on rigging. I believe, Kurza, you have sailing, right? So if you can make a sailing proficiency check as well, if anyone else has that, go ahead and make it. Otherwise, I guess if you don't, what are Schauser and
I've got a
Nod
seamanship
working on here?
I think it's pretty clear that Schauser is working on getting drunk.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what if I could do. I could maybe use some blacksmithing to help pin sails or refasten some wood things back together to work on the wood frame.
Okay. Yeah. So lending a hand, definitely being the strongest one aboard the ship. There's got to be things that only Nod could do, like maybe even like moving some of the heavy stuff on the top deck so that the mending can be done. So I think you guys can all collectively get the ship to a point that it is looking better and more functional than it was. Let me see if I don't have the art up yet for it, but that's okay. I'll get one. But you do get the sails up, and you do get the rigging and mending all completed as well, to the point that the ship seems like it's in better shape now than it was when you got aboard.
Okay. I want to do an identify spell towards the end of or towards midday or later or something, after we've gotten a lot of that done. That okay?
Yep. So if you want to, that's actually great. We can go through that and start to chip away.
Okay. Let's go down the unidentified list. I'll start with the Moonshroud Scarf.
All right, so Moonshroud.
Yeah, that's 60% or less is going to be the target.
All right, where is Moonshroud Scarf? Somewhere in here. Party number.
Right at the top.
Got it.
Because I'm just going to go downward from there. Was the captain's ring magical?
Yeah, I put it in there
Oh, okay.
at the top now. It should be. And so here is.
See it.
Oh, I don't have it shared. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Share that with you. Now you should see it. Just the handout. I don't have a description in there yet, but the handout's in there. If we start with the Moonshroud Scarf, this is a wondrous item. And the item is, when waved in the air, it will create a fan of strong wind. So
Wow.
is the magical function. Let's see. Let me share this with you so you can see. Oh, actually, no, you can't see the description yet.
Is this? Oh yeah, okay. So this is the scarf that we're supposed to use as a symbol, right? Too, to get it in, to alert. Okay. But it's also got some weather magic.
Do I need to roll again for the same item or something?
No, I'm just trying to put the description in there so you can read it.
Oh, okay.
My bad. There's a GM section and a player section, and I just got to move it up. Okay.
Oh, right.
So now you should see it where it says this device appears as a finely crafted silk scarf, and when opened and waved, it generates a powerful gust of wind as if the gust of wind spell were cast by a 10th level wizard. And what else does it do?
Disperse fog,
Disperse fog, that's a nice one. Knockdown, small or light creatures. Extinguishes torches, lamps. So it's basically like effects that the wind aspect has. Yeah. So
very cool.
I'll put that to identified now. That's identified.
I'm assuming that even though it's a wizard spell or equivalent to, right, because it's Agma, it's probably a divine kind of thing. Right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's try the piece of wood.
Okay.
That Tim had. It's probably not going to work, is it? 83.
Here you go. Here's your vessel.
Wow.
All right. So
cool stuff.
83. Did that pass?
No.
Or no? Okay.
No, it did not. Let's try our good captain's ring. That did work.
Oh, let me see. I gotta find this one. Hang on a second.
Sure.
It's in it's in like a rogues gallery thing. Here, I'm trying to pull up. Okay. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you that he has a shield. A medium shield.
Oh, soldier.
Yeah, he has a medium
Is that
shield.
magical as well?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But he did have a shield, so I forgot to mention that in his list of things. And his ring. Oh.
The soldier now has a shield.
It is a drumroll ring of truth.
What? What's that?
Is it whatever you speak becomes true, or is it that you can't lie?
I think you can detect lies. If I believe it's a detect lie thing, I'll paste it in. Oh, the ring forces the wearer to speak only the truth as if they believe it. Or as they believe it. I think what's interesting is he wasn't wearing this ring. And
okay. I thought he was wearing.
No, he has it on his person though. He's not wearing it, but the other captives on board the ship know that he threatened to use the ring on them when interrogating them, so they might be able to also verify that's what the ring is, but that is the ring. So ring of truth.
Excellent.
I'll change the names of these as we go.
That could be good. Useful for interrogating our good captain.
That's what he was trying to do with it, so you got to turn it around on him.
That's right. Did he wake up this morning?
I guess if you guys are doing a rest and everything, then we can fast forward to the next day and interact with him. Let me just Let's
Well,
finish the
yeah, we'll get to
identification,
that.
and then we'll get to
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Okay, so I got the
Let's
Ring
go
of
with,
Truth marked now. In
so we
there.
got 1, 2, 3. Ring that Nod has. Next item
Ring that Nod had.
is
Oh,
successful.
this was found on Fortuan.
So Nod's ring is identified.
Right, so this was Fortuan. Okay, so this is, let me edit this. It is a ring of mammal control.
Control the mammals.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about it is that it seems to also have some type of protection ability on it as well, like a protection +1. So it is both mammal control and protection. I'm gonna put this, it's Ring of Fortuan.
Do any of you remember where we got this unidentified board?
That's from the Sahagwin that you slayed in Melkor's tower.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now the ring for Ring of Fortuan should be updated here. So that one's done as well.
Does we give bonus for your saving throw?
Yeah, +1 to saving throws as well. It's gonna act like a normal ring of protection on top of mammal control.
Well, good deal.
All right. Any other?
Let's try the unidentified dagger that I have.
Okay.
And I fail.
For some reason, I think you've had that one for a while too. Like you haven't.
Yeah. I don't.
That's all right. So
Let's see. Nobody has these serpent amulets. So let's do the mace that Bart has. See if we can
all right.
a 5. What a deal.
Wow.
Successful.
That is quite successful. Yeah, the mace is a mace of spell warding, which +1 mace. What does it do? When its head strikes or is pressed against any non-living enchanted surface, it begins to glow with magenta radiance. The brightness scaling with the strength. What is it saying though? Spell warding. Any spell-like ability or magic item artifact discharge that is directed at the mace bearer is completely negated and absorbed into the mace. So I'll put all this in there for him.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, really.
Mace.
So that's all I can do on the identify for the first day.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. We got that. Yeah.
It's,
All right. I think I've got that one updated for Bart when he gets back. And yeah.
I'm probably not privy to most of this because I'm probably, staying as far away from this.
Same busy. You're busy.
I don't have to think about it. Yes, I don't have to think
I
about it.
think Curzon knows to like hole up somewhere by himself and do all of this alone and then tell the right people afterwards instead of making it like a group.
I'd probably sit in the captain's cabin doing it.
Yeah. While everyone's still
Yeah.
trying to get the ship working.
And he's always got his nose in books and stuff.
Okay. If that's all we can identify for now, then we can probably go ahead and take our break here and then come back and figure out what we want to do next as you guys now finally have the ship operational. So how's that sound? We'll give it a few minutes, give it 5 or 10 minutes here and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
All right. See everyone back yet? See Brandon.
Yeah,
Chris.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the night was spent getting the rigging up, getting things identified, making sense of what was aboard the vessel, pouring through some of the paperwork, and ultimately in the morning after you have had some time to do all of that, Varn actually gets your attention. I think Kurza, knowing that you're the most experienced or knowledgeable sailor amongst the party, and he says to you that something's odd. It seems like we're being pulled away from our direction. And you sure enough, when you come to the top deck and you get a sense of your direction, it's like the water is pulling you against your will, to the extent that you feel like there might be like a vortex or a whirlpool in this region of the inner sea. So right now it's just making it so that you're really not gaining any ground or any distance, I should say. You're getting pulled and your travel is being negated. So any
Let's
thoughts?
aim the ship directly away from that direction of water.
All right, let me.
But yeah, no, and maybe if we need extra grace, Nod would happily try to pull the little dinghy out front, begin to pedal.
What's that?
Well,
If we need to, Nod will pull the little dinghy out front and like paddle.
to help
Or-
steer or turn you in the right direction, and then
Extra force against the pull that's pulling us away. Not sure if it will be helpful. If it's not helpful, then there's help for it.
Agma scarf too.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, but that was
the bone shroud scarf to give us some extra
all right. So
push in the right direction.
let's have you make a sailing check. I guess Nod, go ahead and do a what would it be? Probably a wisdom check, I'm thinking. Because it's not difficult for you to do the rowing. That's not even worth rolling, I think, and it's more just about knowing how to pull the boat in the right direction. And then Kurza, yep, that's the check I wanted you to make, which you got a critical success on. So between the two of you, you're able to get the ship turned what you feel like is almost due north. So
Okay.
you get it. I can't get the icon to turn right now because you're too close to these other objects, but you may go ahead and try then if you'd like to try the scarf at that point.
Yeah, let's do that. See if it can add some extra boost to our
We got you now.
power.
All right. You're noticing you definitely get the scarf and give it a little bit of a wave, and you feel that gust of wind right away as it picks up the sails and starts to jolt and pull the ship and fight the pull of the whirlpool. And you get yourself moving a little bit out of that stronger current and then back north to where you are near some rocks and some outcroppings. And it slows you down more than you would have liked. But for the most part, you spend the better part of the day getting out of the whirlpool and getting just north into
Can we even
the
see
water.
the whirlpool from the upper rigging?
Can't see the center of the whirlpool, but you can definitely get a sense that it's there. That there's a big wide body of
okay.
water that's churning and turning in there. But yeah, it's a slow pool. And eventually, though, with between the scarf and Nod and the whole crew working together, you are able to get about 10 miles north and out of the area that you felt was holding you back. There's nothing else that necessarily emerges that catches your attention. I will say we'll do a quick check on weather.
And if later in the day again, I'll try another identify spell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. And if there's anything else anyone wants to do while they're aboard the vessel, if there is training or other preparation you want to do, let me know. But otherwise, Chris, we can step through your list.
Yeah, I don't think I can redo the identification on the piece of wood or my dagger. So let's try the unidentified horde.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
that works.
So this is actually called a Horn of the Tritons. So when blown, it can summon 1d4 sea creatures, specifically including sea mammals, dolphins, porpoises, whales, large fish, sometimes hippocampi and giant sea turtles. And response time is like 1 to 3 rounds. And they will fight hostile sea creatures or help you in other ways if you have a use for them. So I'll paste all that in here so you can read it yourself. But that's the horn.
Alrighty.
I think I'd want to spend some time getting to know the prisoners that we freed.
Yeah, I think that it might be interesting because they didn't know each other very well before this. Varn is actually someone who spent a lot of time in Westgate, and he worked on the docks in Westgate for a long time, and then eventually decided to adventure. He had met these three the night before in the tavern, and they got along, and he decided to change his employment to adventurer. So he's the new one of the four of them. The other three seem to know each other a lot more intimately, as if they'd been together for a little while before meeting him. But if you speak with them further, you'll learn that they all did meet in a very short period of time near Westgate. And let's see, what else can I tell you about
They
them? Yeah.
Do they have any idea why they were selected to have these tattoos and be captured? Is there any thread tying them together? Aside from Westgate?
No, I think that's the thread. That's the only thread they have to go on.
Okay.
They've been scratching their heads together about it too, knowing that they're very different. You've got a dwarf and a human and a half elf and an elf, so very different skill sets, personalities, knowledge, and all of that. And so they're not sure why they were targeted.
Hmm.
Oh, I think that's it.
What are their classes again? Fighter.
Here, I think this Horn of the Tritons is working now. The
There we go.
classes for these folks.
Well, Saharn is going to love that.
So Braun is warrior. Varn is a warrior. Let's see. Nalara is what is she? She seems like more of a rogue type. Nalara. And then Sereni is a mage. She's a moon elf. That's this girl here. So I think this is another cool backstory. She was actually traveling to study, and she was traveling to Surligol to study with. She was granted an apprenticeship in Surligol. That was her reason for traveling on that journey, and her friends that were with her were going along for the ride. They were going to try to make a living in Surligol while she did her studies, and then Varn just tagged along with the three of them. So that's a little bit of their backstory.
Where is Surligol?
You've been to Surligol, actually. It's right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
That's where we went
when you were
right
escaping.
after Procampur? Yeah.
Yeah, you took a ship out of Procampur, took it to Surligol, smuggled yourselves out of Surligol, really didn't talk or do anything there, just went straight to the cove. Yeah.
Okay. Let's try identifying the amulet serpent, singular.
Okay. Yeah, there's two.
Alrighty. Success.
All right. This is a amulet of serpent command.
The second one is successful as well.
Right? Oops.
Are they the same?
No, they are different.
Oh, okay. You had one singular and one plural, so I was wondering.
Yep. Yeah. They have slightly different. Let's see. So this one is Animal of Serpent Command. Okay. That one's good. All right. So that's that one. And then the other one has two intertwined serpents. And this is the amulet of the serpent. And it is completely different. It does not do control, it does protection. So I'll put in there what it does. It gives you immunity to non-magical poison. It gives you +4 savings throw to magical poison and +2 to reaction rolls versus serpent-like creatures.
That's the serpent.
That's the
plural.
serpent.
Ah.
All right, so this is amulet. The serpent. Okay, so that one should be good.
And immunity to normal non-magical poisons. +4 versus magic poison. +2 bonus reaction with serpent-like creatures. Where did we pick these up?
I believe you got those in Myth Nantar.
Uh-huh.
I believe. I don't remember now exactly. I'd have to do some digging to tell you exactly where they were. I'll try to note that on these going forward. I didn't know I wasn't remembering exactly where, but I think it was right before you got to Myth Nantar. I think you had found these.
Okay. So what do we have for... Well, we have 5 potions from the Underdark and 1 from the Drider layer. Let's try the Drider layer. 25. That'll work. So that's successful.
What are we looking at now?
The potion from the Drider layer in the Underdark.
This was the Drider layer that was in the tower, actually, that you went and found its little layer and got this. So this was...
I think it was when...
This is a potion of invisibility.
Oh, okay. Let's do one of the other 5 from the Underdark.
Okay.
Successful.
All right, so let me put these...
And another successful.
Ability. You got 2 of them?
Yep. I have the potion of invisibility.
So okay, so you got, I'm just gonna put the 3 that I know of right now. You got invisibility first. The second is clairaudience, and the third is oil of slipperiness.
It is.
What else do I owe you? You got 1 more you did?
No, that should be
Oh.
6.
Okay.
Because we had the 2 amulets.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And the horn. There it is. Go. And then 3 potions.
Okay. So another
So
night.
audience.
Yeah.
I also have 1 potion from Drugar. I'm not sure if it was from the Tower Drugar or if it was from the Underdark Drugar. Took one somewhere, apparently.
And that's not a part of what's in there in this list of 5?
Not sure. To be fair. It might be, it might not be. I am not 100% sure. I know I had this one noted on my character sheet, and I thought we were trying to not double list it. If that's what I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's probably else.
I don't know, frankly, but I would just say that there is in the unidentified items folder, if you have any potion scrolls or miscellaneous that's not like an actual item, there's a handout at the top that we can use to try to track all of those, so that, because I don't want to have to go into each person's sheet and figure out what you have that's unidentified. Right. So I want to keep it all in this main area. So just, I don't know. You double check if it's not one of those 5, then add it into that one, and then we'll have.
Yeah. I don't think we found any potion in the Underdark from Drugar. So I was doing it's different.
Okay. Yeah, just put in there that it was Drugar and as a separate one, and then we can cross off the ones that he's identified. So he got the Drider layer, that was invisibility, and then he got 2 other potions, right? So those should be, let's see. Got it. Okay, so this should be 3 of those and 1 of those. So there's 4 potions that I'm aware of that still need to be identified. But that'll be another day because Kurza is all used up on his identify. So we're moving into a new day, and we'll check and see what the sailing conditions are like here.
Let's put one other thing in here. You said one of them was I can't forget, potion of clairaudience.
Yeah.
That's like listening. Clairvoyance is like seeing, clairaudience is listening.
Yeah, so what's the second one?
Oil of
identified. Oh, oil of slipperiness.
Interesting.
So are you guys continuing to use, I guess that's the question, are you going to continue to use the scarf to gust wind and speed your travel, or are you just trying to travel at your normal speed? What's the plan on that? This is the third day we're talking about now. You've woken up and there's some choppy water, but you
Let's see
can
if we can do it
obviously.
without the magic.
Okay.
Because,
We want to think about what time we want to arrive in
yeah,
Procampur, in terms
yeah,
of
I
to
think you're
be
right.
stealthy.
Yeah, the Varn will be being a dock worker. He'll say that these purple sails are going to draw a lot of attention. We have to come in the dead of night.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that works for me.
Grum has awoken as well. And so you guys hear this grumbling, grunting, loud voice kind of screaming at you all at the top of his lungs from the holding cell where you've secured him. And he's cursing you out from down from below deck as you're getting the vessel steered today, and he's back with it. If you want to spend any time speaking with him, that's an option
Just
for
barely.
today. Yeah, he's conscious enough to be grumbling and hollering and confused and all of those things. So he's making his own little ruckus down there in the holding cell. But I guess I'm guessing one of the, or if not, but two of the captives would be more than willing to keep an eye on him. So I'm sure they'll be like reporting back to you that he's awake and he's ornery as hell and he's awake. So
Why don't we tie his hands to the bars of his cage so we can slip the ring of truth on him and have him answer us a few questions?
it'll take a little bit of work.
This is outside of this. I just want to have this first established because I missed a bunch. Did we determine what the Madar were doing with the captives back at Melkor? Or do we have any
for books or knowledge or items?
grading them for books to presumably to the Thay people, right, or to the wizards?
Correct.
But why are they taking these marks? Yeah, what are they doing with them? What were they doing with them? We don't know, right? I don't think we do, but I want to make
researching
sure.
something.
The two most likely scenarios in your minds would be that they are using them, they're converting them into undead, because you definitely saw a lot of things about them, about creating undead and things along those lines. So that's one thing. The other is that the soul jars that had the lich in it, for some reason, seems like interesting that maybe they were destined for the soul jars.
Yeah,
because they
okay.
are coated in the magic.
Whatever it was, wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think you got you don't know the exact process of what they were gonna, how they were doing it as far as soul jars, but that third level of the tower, I don't think you got very far on that level, but that was where you were starting to figure that out. You could see some of the apparatus, you could see some of the chambers where they had rituals and other things, and I don't think you got to open all the doors before the Medusa came and turned Tornak to stone and you retreated. So that's still to be determined.
I don't think it would be. Why put the tattoo on them if they're just going to make them into undead? You could just kill them off and then raise them like normal undead and no big deal.
Unless it's part of some foul wizardly process.
The whole process for the tattoo is control. And there's something else going on other than straight just making them undead. And if it's not being a soul jar, they could be controlled servants with no ability to protest.
I think the captives might say that they don't mean to find out, that they are grateful for being saved and to not know what you know.
As long as you have those tattoos on you, they can do it anytime they want from anywhere in the world.
Here. Let's take this war to the Red Wizards and end their evil reign.
So I will tell you that they can do it to you.
As unsettling as that is, I think they believe you very well, and they see the pain in your eyes of what you've been dealing with, and they hear some of what you're talking about, right? The whisper, the chatter of the
I'll hold
tower
up
and soul jars.
my wanted poster. This is why. This is the result of them taking control.
If that happens again, I'm gonna chop off your hair.
You're gonna chop off my hair?
Your arm.
Oh, the arm.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it off you because
that could be a fair trade.
yeah,
That might be a fair trade. You never know.
I think you get a mix of reactions from our captives here where some of them are like just feeling like they'll put this behind them and they'll move on, while others, that your words really hit them hard, that they're going to be cursed by this for a very long time. And
the fact that I'd be willing to trade my arm for being not under their control.
Just like that banter of her threatening to cut Kurz's arm off and you all like laughing about it, I think has them like shook that it's a curse. And so
serious.
They're getting like Braun, who is the dwarf, he's getting pretty mad about it. Like he wants to kill Vergrim. Like the more he's heard of this, he wants Vergrim dead. He's, what are you gonna do with him? So he starts to get pushy about
first. If he's not useful, it may not matter what we do with him.
He'll be better off dead no matter what.
It goes much over his head, though. We can use him. Think, man.
I think you're right. Soldier's right. It does. Much of what's going on goes over Vergrim's head. Judging by the notes we've seen, they don't know what happens when the captives get traded. After that, who cares? Don't matter. It's not our problem.
Yeah, I think you're right in assuming that his role in this is not as familiar with some of the questions you have. He can't answer, but he's more a part of the criminal enterprise and the smuggling and capture of these hostages. So that's more his leg of the racket, and more of what he would be familiar with would be the pirates, the inner workings of the pirates, the structure and order of where does he sit in the ranking or pecking order of the pirates and whatnot that work in this enterprise. I think also the sail, it would be very interesting to know how he came across the sail and what he used the sail for. So some of those things are probably more what he's going to be useful to you for. You definitely don't feel like he's going to have a whole lot of knowledge of what happens inside the tower. If he's ever stepped foot in it, you doubt. But
yeah, most importantly, we had to figure out he might know how to get into Procampur, right? Because he's got these entry papers. He's got documentation of having bribed the harbor master, but not the harbor master's name, right? Who got 20 GP.
Yeah. I think between Nod and maybe one of the other more strong people we have, we can probably...
Nod's like giant strength, but
if Nod would be kind enough to pull the captain's arms out, we can tie him to the jail.
The captain is no slouch. He's definitely the second strongest person on this boat. He's quite strong. So it will take some work for you guys to try to wrestle him. You could tell that he's got great strength.
I think both Nod and I each have intimidation, though. Right? Am I wrong?
He's basically got a couple of hit points. So we can do this the hard way or the easy way. Stick out your hands.
Who's leading the conversation with Vergrim? I imagine you guys are concocting this plan outside the room right now, so I'm not putting you in front of him. But
I'm just going to start by taking his bottle of Telthor and be like, this is some good stuff. I'm going to drink it all while you sit here and suffer. And I want to know where you got it.
He's seething. He's seething that you're drinking his spirit.
This is the taste of home for me. Is there any more of this on board? This is some good stuff. Where did you get it? I let him sniff it.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm not going to give money.
Yeah, you lead him on a little bit. Go ahead and give me a charisma check. Let's see if he reacts to your posturing here.
All right. Yeah. Give me a second. Here's my gear. Ooh, barely.
Let's see. So yeah, he'll say, I was saving those 2 bottles after drop off.
For your death?
After dropping these marked off, I was going to forget my name for a little bit. Damn you. We came across those on a vessel we plundered.
Seems like if we feed you Just everyone will forget your name.
He'll just stare at the bottle. What the hell do
On
you
the other
want
hand,
with me?
on the other hand, yeah, we want some cooperation. We sail for Procampur, and we need to be able to dock there. You got any suggestions on how we can do that?
What is my fate once we are docked in Procampur?
Look at it this way. There are those who shall remain nameless that want to slice you to pieces and feed you to the sharks. But if you prove to be useful, we could give you a rowboat, and then your fate will be your own.
That's my right there.
Give me a charisma check, please, Curza. See if he believes that. So he does start to kind of think for a moment with the offer, and he says,
And you have a very interesting ring here that we could use to verify this information, too.
he notices
But if we
right
have to
away
add,
what you're talking. He would know right away what you're talking about. And he said, "There'll be no need for tricks. Procampur is a difficult place to enter these days. Of course, you would know about that, wouldn't you, Curza?"
Certainly. It was easy to get out of, too.
Why do you run towards having your head taken?
Maybe I can lose a limb like this one. You never know.
There is a harbor master in Procampur that can be had. He is compromised.
Oh,
What's his name?
Just don't seem to remember. So parched.
give him some water.
Yeah, I'll give him a little water. I'm not going to waste any liquor on him.
He'll drink the water. He's not above it. He will drink the water, and
Sure.
he'll sit back and he'll say, You're going to want to find. Let me find his name here. You need to make your entrance at nightfall. He will not be available during daylight. No respectable pirate would enter port during the day anyway. But his name is Meriden.
Irritated.
And you've paid him generously so far.
The price has gone up.
What was the last payment? What do you expect to pay him?
It's been doubling for several months. I would expect you to be somewhere between 40 to 50 gold to get him to look the other way at this point. The pressure is getting too great.
I see. It's just out of curiosity, what's with the Cormyrian sails?
You found my sails.
Certainly.
It's a disguise. It has value as well. I plan to flip it. But how I came across them is none of your concern.
Yeah,
Let's just say there is another wanted person that you may not, that may be in this room. Although the price on my head is much cheaper than that on yours.
yeah, but not quite as much as Winnick's. What
Let's see, when you say Winnick,
is he
like
your superior?
you get his attention when you say Winnick. He definitely
he,
looks a little bit more concerned about what you know.
Is he your superior in this organization?
And-
Or do you just owe him a lot of debts?
For now, he is. But I'm making a name for myself, and I will one day lead him.
Let
if
me
you
tell
follow
you, he's
up on
not
your promise.
quite invulnerable. He's not quite invulnerable. And we have beaten him previously, so
He lives. How have you beaten him? He thrives, friend.
I brought the church down on him, quite literally. But he managed to leave the building beforehand. He ran in fear.
I remember a drunken tale of some sort. Sounds familiar.
Raven's Bluff.
An easy place to enter. And an even better place for pirates to stay. I'm sure he was quite
True.
at home in Raven's Bluff.
Yeah.
What is your business in
He got
Procampur?
lost.
He will be killed upon arrival.
I think we're asking questions here. Who's Gastaban? This other wanted pirate. Is he a friend of yours?
He is no friend of mine. He's a scoundrel.
Oh, he's not in cahoots with you. Working for the robed ones.
I know not what
We could always.
I know not what his business is, but it is not with Winnick and I.
Interesting.
I take everyone aside, not in front of the captain. I said, we want him to fill out these entry paperwork to give to Meriden. Like, Maybe we can concoct a story,
I
or
like that idea.
What about the
His
whole
handwriting
shawl on the front of the boat? Like just
Yeah.
telling us how to go and get into the backwaterway, which is again not the worst idea, but we already have a way in, don't we?
we do. Yeah, I
What-
guess we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
this
think you
way,
had something to get in?
Yeah, we've got this could be a backup.
Yeah, yeah. Again,
could,
like I'm not fighting it. That's why I'm like, yeah, the information is definitely good. If we need to, we could always go about this method to get through.
Yeah.
I don't think that when they told you to sail to Procampur, they thought you would arrive in a Cormyrean ship. So that might be a little bit of a wrench in what they were thinking. But you're right in the fact that the shawl should give someone a signal to help you. So,
Right. And it's always good
So
to have
we
a
might run
backup
into
plan.
trouble, but we might also have some allies to help us,
Indeed. And
presumably.
if he fills out the form, it'll be in his handwriting. The guy in charge at the Harper might be familiar with it, maybe not. But this way we can say, hey,
I remember there was copies, right? So we should make a copy for plan A and a copy for plan B. Like we should write one if we invite a person, whatever.
There's just one copy, but it's got a front and a back on it. You could try forgery to try to create a copy, though.
It doesn't
if you wanted to make
necessarily.
a second version.
Yeah, but just because it's not like somebody has to sign it. He could put his name on it. There's the vessel.
So he doesn't look too keen on filling the paperwork out, and so I
Well,
guess
he's not
gonna
aware of it
ask.
quite yet.
He's gonna ask you again. Do I have your assurance that you will let me free if I get you into Procampur safely?
We're going to I want to discuss that before we even put this plan in front of
All
him.
right, so you
'Cause
guys
that was
can discuss that.
Yeah.
Don's gonna say no.
We can't trust him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna let this guy get away and give a bunch of information about us that compromising. We should not. You even took the Cormyrean guards that were arriving, and the Procampur guards that were arriving. Trying to fit for money. Yeah, this is just another way for him to get even higher up or even deeper or whatever.
He's got debts. You're right. He's got debts, and if he could sell you guys out and repay his debts, you don't need to roll to ascertain that he would definitely do it.
While we were talking to him, did we ascertain that this is his ship and not a Cormyrean ship that he captured?
I think that Kurza and some of the others knew right away that this was not a Cormyrean ship.
Okay.
The craftsmanship
And he said the
quality
Cormyrean
is pretty-
sails were, as he said, acquired somehow. So that would imply that this is not a Cormyrean vessel, but he managed to acquire the sails in some manner. Probably they took it.
So my thought is, just that this harbor master is going to be expecting.
We could always let him go.
Pilgrim here. Pilgrim.
In the rowboat before we get into Procampur.
Not going to let him go.
And then I just light off a fireball on it.
Acceptable, but then what about my rowboat? Are you going to mend my rowboat?
It might not survive the
fireball. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there another rowboat on board?
No, just the one boat. You guys brought it.
Just the one they only had the one, huh?
Yep.
What a shame.
There's a much easier and more discreet ways to deal with them.
True. He only has couple of hit points at this point.
Yeah, he looks like he's in low health, but
if he's
go ahead.
Lower level than me,
I would probably
backstab.
Be willing to take care of him for us.
Let's see.
When attacking from surprise, if attacking by surprise, he has the saving throw versus stuff, and then if he fails, then I could pretty much.
We could always lead him up on deck towards the rowboat, and then, oh darn, Varn gets him, and
he'll say that if you're gonna
kill me, waiting on the river.
But I don't know. We're not going to say all this in front of him, obviously.
Yeah. So I'll wait until you guys want to deliver something to him. You still have to sail to get closer, so you could still think about what you want to do
Yeah.
when you get closer. You have basically one more day until you would be there, and with the timing, if you have a good sailing day, you should, and if you use the scarf, you could certainly try to time it where you get there in the darkest part of the night.
Yeah, that's the plan. That we see what happens from there.
All right. Okay, so let's see how our sailing conditions are today as you guys continue to make your way north. And you should be getting pretty close.
Oh wow, we have 5 soul bars.
So
Oh.
the weather is poor, and unfortunately, it slows you today.
We do have fortunes. Can we roll an astonishing fortune for the weather?
Yeah. You wanna use one for the weather?
Why not?
All right, let's see if we can get you better conditions and not worse conditions here. It's
Oh,
actually
man.
worse. So yeah, maybe you change your route a little bit and you start to come across some rocks and it makes you divert a little bit to where you throws you off track for part of the day and you don't end up closing as much distance as you would have liked throughout this day. So yet one more day goes by at sea and Vergrim still stirs below deck. The captives are continuing to help you sail the vessel. They're talking a little bit about what they're going to do when they get to Procampur as well. Like, they're not wanted. So how much are you bringing them in on the stealthy entrance to Procampur? Or is that like a are they in on the plan, or is this a secret plan that you don't want them to know you're wanted? You already showed them the paper,
Well,
but
Good
Maybe
question.
we'll how well back in the captain's quarters, or we'll have that discussion. What should we do about the people? And is there any more questions you want to ask this guy? Because if not, he might be no longer with us.
I don't think we have any more questions for it.
Yeah, I feel like the captives that we freed are going to be, they're very wary. So if we try and withhold information from them, then they might even think worse of us than is the case.
Yes, we should definitely inform them
Well,
that
they
we're
should.
trying to sneaky approach, give them the reason
Yeah.
why, and tell them maybe a little bit, hey, we're trying to help the city. The people have been corrupted, and we were trying to come back in, and our names are tarnished, but we're trying to fix that.
Yeah.
all right. So you can maybe have a meal aboard the ship and broach that subject, talk a little bit to them about what your plan is. And I think you get the sense that between the 4 of them, the L, I think is Nalara, not,
I'm
or
either
no,
gonna give
Sereni.
some.
She seems very determined to get to Surligol still. That ultimately she wants to go to Surligol. The others look like they're more like open to whatever because they don't have business in Surligol. So she's like the only one that seems she's got some other plan potentially of what she wants to do, but the others are open. Yeah. Or no, Sereni.
Serena or
Yeah.
Sereni? Okay.
Yeah. She is a low-level apprentice mage, so she's trying to get to an apprenticeship.
Yeah. So she has to get where she needs to go. But I think we're going to end up.
She's already missing, so it's, in her mind, she's not sure if she was supposed to be there, and so she's like scared that she has lost the opportunity too. So that's the only uncertainty that she has about it, but she still wants an apprenticeship. So that's like her ultimate goal still.
I think we should probably give them a handful of cash, like 10, 20 silvers each, just so that they're not completely penniless.
Well,
And
I feel like we
Yeah.
can just let them loose because they also now have this tattoo on them. You remember what happened whenever you went to the capital with this tattoo?
And they know that we're wanted.
Be honest about that. Yeah,
I've
I feel
already
like we
told
should
them they
just
can be
let them-
patrolled and to stay away.
Yeah.
We can tell them to stay away from Cormyrian people.
Yeah,
that
I
mean
feel like we should
Primarian dignitaries.
Yeah.
maybe try to convince them to stay with us so they're not just going to cause havoc other places too.
Yeah, and
So
work
that's
with us.
definitely-
So who wants to
Yeah.
try to convince them? This is really just going to be a role for Sereni. You guys feel if you can convince Sereni to pause her apprenticeship a little bit until you figure things out in Procampur, You think if you can convince her, then the four of them will go along with it as well. So if anyone wants to make the charisma check here to convince her, I'll see if she's buying.
Maybe Kurza should try it.
You want a good failure? I can give it to you.
Well, you're the
under me.
Yeah, don't
you
let.
shared. We shared the story about what it did to you, right?
I think
Like
this
the
is
tattoo.
these are like the characters in our party that use charisma as a dump stat. All the other, I think all your charisma folks are the ones that are missing today.
I miss a Mithra because she had like a 16.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
My dump stat is actually strength. My second dump stat is charisma.
But also, Kurza, you're a wizard, and perhaps you can promise to teach her your ways.
Yeah, I'll give you a +1, Curza, because you are a wizard. And you're an elf.
Okay. All right. Let's give it a go. All right. I'm going to add the +1 in here.
And you still have fortune, so don't forget about it.
I should probably try that again.
You want to try that again? Okay. Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Is that our second astonishing fortune that we used?
Yeah. Use Tim's for the weather. All right.
I made it. Holy mackerel.
So yeah, it takes some convincing. It takes a little bit also of revealing yourself in the sense that you are a pretty accomplished wizard at this point, even though you don't maybe just have the appearance of a wizard. So I think with that being talked about a little bit, Sereni will ultimately say that she will stay with the party until further notice, and that maybe she'll send a messenger to Sir Legol when she gets to Procampur or something. But she seems convinced that you will help take care of her and that you're going to do right by her. So she stays loyal to the group, and then the others fall in line with her. They like the idea of the security of being around a much more accomplished party. So seems like for now they are all going to go along with the plan.
What kind of spells can she cast? Is she even first level? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, she is first level. So let's see. She does not have her spell book.
I thought so.
She would have to recite these off of memory of what are some of the spells that she had. Of course, let's see.
I have a blank second spell book.
Oh, then that would be that's up to you on what you want to do with that. But obviously, if you gift that to her, that would be a extremely kind gesture she would react to. She had some enchantment spells, charm person, sleep, basic stuff, featherfall, alarm, fairy fire, Keller spray. Those are the vein of spells.
That's a lot of spells. That's more spells than I have.
Those aren't ones that she has memorized. I'm just saying those are ones that were in her spell book.
I don't have anywhere near that many in my spell book. But I guess we can give her all the first level spells I have.
Okay.
That'll be, because that way she'll have something to.
Yeah.
And then she can copy it into her own spell book, which is that secondary one.
Got it.
That way she's not. Otherwise, she's nothing more than a victim waiting to happen.
Exactly. You know what it's like to be a first level. All right. So she goes along with the plan. You guys convince her that sticking together and laying low is going to be the right approach. So she's on board. The others seem to be on board. I think Braun, the dwarf, he is still really wants to kill Vergrom. He makes a lot of aggressive comments about being maybe even more towards Nod because he knows Nod wants to off him as well. And he kind of like even makes like jokes with Nod that whose sword will be quicker to drop the captain and all of that. So that's more his attitude. The others are a little bit indifferent.
Sometimes strange things happen in the middle of the night. You never know.
Exactly. You definitely get the sense that the dwarf is not happy about the captain being alive or the potential of the captain being released, right? So he's just like seething a little bit about that as well. Yeah, and as for the rest of it, I think we'll just need to roll and see what your conditions are like. Let's see. Actually.
Yeah, because I don't know that he's going to be. I don't necessarily want to off him, but by the same token, I don't see him being potentially useful in the future.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right to just mercilessly murder him.
Right. That's why I
On
said
the other hand, he could pay for his crimes.
I'm not
he
sure
is in
about deal.
debt. He's seriously in debt, and he's
Yeah, he's motivated by
Yeah.
money. That is for sure.
and he may very well sell us out to pay off those debts.
He knows too much about it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, not give him his last meal. Burrito.
Did you poison him?
No.
Okay.
No, that would have been a great idea, but no.
All right, so this last day here, again, the weather is poor, but you're close enough to Procampur that you'll be able to reach it today. As you get maybe to the point where you can start to see the mainland, you see a ship on the horizon, and it appears to be also heading towards Procampur, but it's going much slower than you all. Do you change your course, or do you continue on the current route where you would potentially come closer to it? Do you avoid it?
I think we take down our sail.
Let's head a different course too.
What do you think?
If we take the sails down, I would say we head away from them. Because that way, okay, they may notice we're a Cormyrian vessel, but they may have already noticed that. But we don't necessarily want to get closer to them.
No, we stay out here. Maybe we fish or something for a little bit. We wait till it's nightfall. We put up the sails. We come in the midst of night.
Okay.
And
Yeah, so evasion. And so let's do a sailing check to try to steer clear of
maybe we'll
them.
move the plug from the bottom to the top so we can come in and pour to be quick, quote unquote. So
Yeah,
we just someone does
aren't-
pull up.
Okay. Is it a ship that's slower than us?
Yeah, it's slower than you right now. It looks like their sails are rolled up. Most of them, they're like at quarter sail.
Yeah, we don't want to go in. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we're going to evade, definitely.
Okay, so let's do a sailing check here. And with the poor weather, I think that you'll have a -1 to this roll. So hopefully you passed by a lot. You did. Okay. All right. So, how do you do it, Kurza? How do you evade this thing and try to minimize what it can spot?
Just change course to pass behind them so they're moving away from us. Yeah, we're moving the opposite direction.
Okay. So changing direction a little bit too, so that if they think it was a Cormyrian vessel, they'll be like, oh, it wasn't headed to our way. Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So you are able to minimize the exposure that they have to seeing you or interacting with you, and you're able to change course to where it appears that you're just a Cormyrian vessel patrolling this region. And then I guess at night, on this night, you would be close enough on this night that you could make your way into the harbor. You follow them, or at least see them in the distance for a little while, and then they disappear. And I imagine then you can change your course, head back in that direction, and get yourself to the point that, if you want to use the scarf or you want to use whatever to try to get yourself exactly where you want to be when you want to be there, you're close enough to do that.
Yeah, we have to display the scarf, not use it. We have to display it on the front
bow.
bow.
So we'll procure the sails, unless it's the other way. We'll put down the sail. That way the sails aren't shown to Canarian.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you can get in towards, again, it's dark, it's pitch black, right? So you can see the light of Procampur, but they can't make out you. That's the darkness that you're coming in at. And you can roll the sails up and get them to where they're not very visible, and you can slowly continue forward. They are purple though, even when they're rolled up. There is a sort of,
but it's also nighttime.
yeah. I'm just
so
saying.
it's
I'm just
very
saying.
hard to
Like,
tell
yeah, you might be like a little
whether-
nervous, but you've done the best you can do. You've rolled them up, and you start to get closer to the actual harbor of Procampur, where you can see it ahead. And Varn is like asking, "What's the plan? Are we declaring our ship log and submitting our paperwork
We don't have a ship log. We captured the ship, obviously.
All right. What?
They,
I think we want to get rid of him, right? The captain or the
yeah, we have
ex-captain,
to get rid of
whatever.
the
I think.
captain first.
Yeah,
So I'll
we'll
leave that to you, gentlemen.
try to do it mundanely. Maybe
How do you propose?
And we just tie him up and
throw him overboard. No, I was gonna stab him just in the gut.
just lock him up somewhere so no one will find him for a while until we're away.
No, I don't want to take that chance. He breaks out or gets free somehow, somewhere. Yeah, I say we just get rid of him and toss him overboard. They find his body, okay?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Say we could just bring him and deliver him. Hey, we found this guy floating in the ocean.
No, don't.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Ditch
Yeah.
him.
What about, I guess, one of the, probably the
We have to
dwarf.
ditch him as soon as we lose the other boat.
Braun might say to you, what if I turn him in and get the reward?
He's Braun.
He's
Well,
One of the captives.
Is
Yeah.
it dead or alive?
Oh,
Is it dead or alive?
you don't have his particular, you don't have his sheet, his wanted sheet, but he confessed to you he is wanted, and for less than Kurza was wanted for, somewhere below 25 grand.
that could work. He's
Look,
dead.
Look,
Yeah,
we're wanted dead or alive, so I'm assuming you would be dead as well. So we could get rid of him and have him turn him in.
Yeah, and then
We don't want
You
him
could-
alive too.
they could truly say they were captured by him and were imprisoned by him. They got loose, and there you go.
Let me see here.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That'd give them a
With
fair
the life,
cash to work with amongst themselves. We don't have to.
and we'll tell him we'll split it 50-50. 60-40. 80-20.
Just let less contact they have with us might be better for all concerned.
We'll not split it. We'll split it to what? 50-50.
We just tried to rally them. We just got them to join us, right? In this
right, I
quest.
think
Right, yeah,
they're obviously like wanting to share the reward with you guys. They just feel like you're just throwing away the money. They're not very accomplished, so to them, they're not greedy, but they're not rich either.
They're
so-
practical.
yeah,
Practical.
I think that's
Yeah.
what.
Right, this is sign on bonus for joining us, for sacrificing your apprenticeship and not causing chaos with your thing.
Yeah,
Talk to you, maybe even letting them go turn into thing might be already asking for too much.
it's their idea. If they want to turn him in, that's
Right now, I'm saying
They're not
The
wanted
variable
either,
up
so
and
that's like
going crazy,
yeah.
hurting something. So that's more the word on my line of taking. Because he's going out, he's now exposed to plausibly getting controlled, doing something.
well. We'll know. Kill off the captain first.
We're all agreed on that.
Then
so
we'll
we
find
got-
out what happens once we get into town.
Yeah.
And we can make the call at that point.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
down with it. I'm
He's going to
starting
be associated with this ship.
Yes.
So
Maybe we should buy new sails. That's something you should do. Take the money, buy new sails. Buy some food, buy some water, buy more ale.
That's a good
Go back.
idea. If you want to give them, if you want them to maintain the ship for you while you do business in Procampur, like that would be something they would undertake. They would feel useful, and could give them a set of instructions like that. That's a great idea.
While we
yeah,
go to
turn
the
and then
Agma.
half of the money you can use for the ship, half of it you should bring back, and then we'll reward you or whatever from there.
All right.
Or
So
half for
Nod,
yourself, but half each of whatever.
okay.
You make your way into the captain's quarters here as the lights of Procampur are getting brighter, and you see the captain asleep in his cell.
I will do. Oh, perfect. All right, just quietly, silently.
All right, and how are you offing him? What's the means of execution? The bloodthirster through the guts, or
I was thinking about it, and then something that he hasn't used in a while is like his blacksmithing hammer, and he'll pull it off of his hip and kind of eye his skull right at the temple and
all
kind of
right?
line up his rod. Or
I'm already feeling eviler.
Oh,
Wow.
What a hit.
Yeah, Nod just walks in, like the rest of you are outside, and you don't hear anything until you just suddenly hear a big thud, and you assume it's over as Nod whacks this sleeping captain with his hammer and crushes his skull, killing him instantly.
Make sure he's identified.
So yeah, maybe it'll be harder to identify. He is dead. He is laying in a pool of his own blood in his own cell, his own cell of his own making. So he made the bed and now he's laying in it, and he is gone. So you definitely you see like the dwarf is like extremely relieved. He looks like his anxiety has changed entirely, knowing that the captain will not be able to live on. The rest of the group, I think, again, are like focused on the plan. You're in the harbor area, or you're not far from it. What's your actual approach here? I would say, based on your experience here in the harbor, you would know that you would make contact with someone and then you would register or submit your paperwork. This is an oldie but a goodie. I don't know if you guys remember this one. So this is from a long time ago. This is the same art we used when the last time you were in Procampur and you snuck out of town.
About just has a rag and he's wiping his hammer down right now, polishing it, getting the brains off.
Yeah. And the red hair. Bergrim was a red-haired human, so that's what he was known for. Bergrim the Mighty. And he is mighty no more. All right. So again, I guess like in the background here, you can see a real tiny ship there. That's you guys right now. You can see the harbor. You can see a couple of ships that are docked. You can see some lights in the harbor. Nothing else really gets your attention. It's the middle of the night, and you're expecting that if you make your way into the actual harbor and to a dock, that you will have to submit paperwork or whatever and display the scarf. And that's what you're thinking. Anyone have anything else they want to add or do differently? If not, then are you going to bring the whole vessel up? Do you want to row in? Do you want, just out of curiosity, are you taking any other actions?
Well,
we should.
Yes. Nod's going to walk up to Kurza and begin to decorate his face with different paints and putting like a boot on his head instead of from a hat, and just
what do you put on his head? A boot. Okay, cool.
Anything just to make Kurza look completely different, and he does disguise him pretty well. So I would say Kurza, even you feel semi safe about the way you look here right now.
Okay.
Rounding out the tips of his ears to be more human-like.
Works for me.
You're pretty good at that.
So you bring the ship in closer. You do see an open area that you can bring the ship to dock. One of the things that you would remember about the way that the harbor is organized here is, so there's a whole harbor district, but in the harbor district, there is a section where warships would be, and there's a section where merchant ships would be, and passenger ships. How are you classifying yourself by your approach, or are you just gonna go to the first thing you see?
Okay, so we still have the sails.
Stay away from the warship area.
Yeah, I'm guessing your sails are like rolled 90% up so that they can't necessarly see the symbol, but on closer view,
maybe
which one of those two is farther from the warship wharves? What's the farthest?
The warships are the closest thing. The closest area are the warships.
Yeah, but which wharves are the farthest from them?
Which ward?
Which parking spot?
Yeah, you mentioned
is the farthest away.
Merchant.
Oh, the merchants. Yeah, the merchants, because they seem to have, there's an unloading area and they need to be processed, and so the merchant area would be the one that.
What other places were there? There were merchant
passenger. There's a passenger ship area as well, and that's like more front and center. Like that's the most visible central dock.
That still might be the better place for the shawl to be over there, but I can see not wanting to be. Like, we want to be seen with the shawl, but we don't want to be seen too at the same time. So I could flip a coin and agree with you.
Okay. So
I could see an argument for the passenger that might be good if we could take the farthest passenger, maybe.
That would be where the clerics might be too. The merchants wouldn't be the clerics, I would assume.
Yeah.
The passengers would be more missionaries or whatever coming to pilgrims.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
where
Okay.
the
Let's
lady
do
would go with.
passenger.
all
I
right.
think you're right.
Okay.
And then can we drop the sails completely once we get tied
Raise
up?
them. Yeah, yeah. You can raise them completely to hide them as best as
Yeah.
possible. I think even Varn might start to pull some of them down, like the easier ones to remove. He might pull the front one down
That's what I was thinking.
and at least make
Flat
it
out
less
remove 'em.
obvious. So he'll start doing that like right away. You guys can make your way through the wall and past the warship docks, and you see the dock for the passenger ships. And it's empty right now because it's the middle of the night and not a lot of passenger ships roll in right now. So you can make your way towards that. Anything you want to do as you approach and dock?
Definitely
Well,
have the shawl tied on the front, or maybe not. We'll go up there and start tying that shawl onto the front.
No, it should already be on the
Okay.
front.
All right.
Yeah, just
Okay.
making
So,
sure. Yeah.
so he's double checking, making sure it's like on full display and it's
Yep.
on the front of the ship. And you guys make your way to the dock. A couple of dock workers come over and throw you some ropes and help secure your ship to the dock. And as they're tying off the ship, you see what looks to be some type of official walking towards your ship and taking some notes in a little journal that he's carrying while you guys are still aboard the vessel. And ultimately, he will hand a piece of paper to another individual who will then approach your ship and I think look for the first person that he sees. So, is there someone that's stepping forward to be point of contact or to speak with?
I do not want to be point of contact.
Yeah, I think we were pointing at the dwarf guy. He was the one who was going to take the body forward and
Okay.
say we were prisoners. We took over the ship. We're here. This is why we don't have a tag or whatever. And give him a good old pat on the back. You got this, Volgrim.
All right. So
The Volgrim.
Braun is the dwarf. Varn
is
is
dwarf,
the
yeah.
human sailor. And yeah, if you want Braun to do it, let's see. Actually, let me double check his charisma before I suggest him.
Or is it, better for
Okay, yeah, I'd say not him. Just, yeah, I'd say the elf.
from just made.
Yeah, probably the elf or the half elf will be best for this one.
Better.
Now, yeah. Sereni, I think will go for it. She looks comfortable doing it, and so she will perk up and talk to the dock worker, and he will follow up to say, "Where are your papers? I need your paperwork." And she says, "Just a moment, we're preparing it." She buys some time. Do you want her to break this down as being I guess she'll approach you about that. Do you want to give paperwork or just a story?
Let's give him the paperwork. What the hell?
All right. Who is filling out the paperwork?
I
And
guess we have just a few.
probably not everyone here can read and write, but actually maybe.
Gotta Urza, right?
Yeah. All right. So the papers for
Where is it?
Procampur entry. This is the front. The captain. Who are you declaring as the captain?
The dead guy.
Vergrim. You're gonna declare
Oh,
the.
no?
I'm imagining you're all like sitting together, like forging this document together.
Yeah, we're gonna create an alias. We're gonna call him, I don't know, Don, or Steve, or Bob. It doesn't matter. We can.
Well, we don't have a captain. It's the problem.
Right, we're gonna create a captain. If you want to see the captain, he's a very busy man. Only limited people can see him.
All right, but
Well,
you're gonna
it
you're
might
gonna
be
use like
best
a
to just-
completely fictional name,
Yeah.
alias.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Vessel.
you know what? I think it might be easier just to declare that, look, we're all the prisoners that escaped and took the vessel over.
There is, on the flip side, there's some more information you can fill out if you want to do that. But if this front of the form is just basic, the back has some area where you could get more narrative in. where you could put your business in town or your passenger. You could write a whole story back here if you chose to. But I'll leave that up to you guys. Before you submit the paperwork, I just want to know what your consensus is on what you're going to submit.
So I'm gonna like
Yeah.
point the
Who's
Bart. I'm gonna make Bart the captain.
Who's the harbor master tonight?
Meriden. And we got to pay him off. At least 40, 50 gold.
Is Meriden around?
Are you going to ask?
I don't say that. Yeah, I don't say that aloud. That we.
Are you going to ask specifically for Meriden?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I
why we
think
came
so.
at night.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we were better off going with the escapists from this vessel, or we conquered this vessel.
The dock worker looks like he's just doing a job. He doesn't like care at all about what your real bit. He just has to like check the boxes, and he's
Right.
Meriden's waiting your paperwork.
All right. Let's fill it out and just go.
All right. So what is your business in
Throw
town?
some names on it.
There's a couple
Resupply.
critical
Resupply,
fields.
yeah.
Okay, resupply.
Coffee.
On your lists of passenger and crew, what names do you include?
I'll
Captains
make
that
it.
freed, right? Or no?
Yeah, the captives that were freed.
Okay, so the captives you're gonna name them by name, but there's more than just them on the boat. Are you gonna make up other
Right,
names?
yeah, we're gonna have to make aliases.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, and then last port and next port be the other.
Last
field.
port unknown. Next port.
Raven, let's just say Ravensbluff. Right?
Yeah, there we
That's a
go.
good idea.
All right, Ravens Bluff's next port. What's last port again?
Westgate. Yeah, there we go.
Westgate and then Raven. All right. Okay, so you get your paperwork looking tidy and complete at least, and you get that rolled up. What's the plan? You're giving that to Sereni to give to the dock worker?
Yeah,
Yeah, we say maybe we should. I feel like we should.
somebody should go with him.
Yeah, we need to go directly to him, and she needs to pay him off because that's how this works, right?
Yep.
So make sure she has the money. Someone should go with her. Yeah, but not anyone that they have a picture of, which is the three of us.
Don is probably the best off. He is just a great hooked figure with maybe a Viking helmet, so maybe he'll, I don't know, maybe try to wrap his head with something and look like he's more Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Okay, so he's disguised as well. All right, so
Cool.
Sereni, I guess, will take the paperwork over to the dock. Who's going along with her? Anyone?
Not me. I got the highest.
No.
Let me rewrap that.
If Nod wants to disguise me, I could go with.
One
But-
more. He's going to pull out, let's see, we got a boot for a hat. He's going to take like a bow tie out or like a scarf and start tying it around your neck and cover your face with it. And let's give you a disguise. Hey,
Good job.
All right, so let's see. Where are we at?
our old disguise kit box is looking a little empty at this point. We need more clothes now.
Trying to find my second. It's crazy going back to the folder with all the Procampur art in it. You guys have explored quite a bit. Procampur. After a couple of moments, Sereni gets off the ship, and as she's walking with her gold and her paperwork towards the harbor master's office that sort of overlooks the entire center of the dock, you see someone walking up to your ship that does not appear to be a harbor worker. In fact, they look a cloaked looking human that comes walking towards your ship, and he gives like a hand gesture to you where he is asking you to get off the ship.
I
Like,
can
come with me. Because like at the moment the dock worker has kind of wandered off, and Sereni
Yeah.
has wandered off, and there's this window of time here where he's waving to you to come with him and get off the ship before she comes back.
Okay.
All right, so
We have to-
you start to follow this individual. They take you down a small alleyway past the front-facing taverns and inns that are in the harbor district and into a familiar place that you remember seeing before. It's actually a Harper hideout that you've been in once before. And
Before we completely leave the ship, can I grab the shawl
sure,
so we don't leave it up there tied?
yeah,
And maybe
Yeah.
before we hop off, it's grabbing.
good idea. So this little room was like a basement below one of the homes here in the Harbor District, and it is a Harper safe haven. You all have a Harper in your group. Griff is a Harper, or at least he's allied with the Harpers, and they would remember you all. And so they are the ones that have seemingly aligned with the Augmans to get you safely into Procampur. The figure who brings you, though, he just brings you there and says, "Lay low, I'll bring your friends." And after a while, Sereni and whoever else went with Sereni appear, and he shows them the way into that space as well. Looking for the artwork for this space. I know you've been in it. I'm just trying to find
I
it.
remember.
Yeah, it's down in that
Okay.
little basement area somewhere in here. This is it. Oh, wow. I'm just going to bring you exactly to the art that we had. This is great. This was the safe house. That's the name of this map, safe house.
Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
So there you
Very
go.
cool.
The gentleman on the steps was the contact that you had met before, trying to find his character sheet. But regardless, they basically tell you that you'll be staying here this evening. Tomorrow we'll make contact and let the Augmans know that you're here. So with that, you guys can make yourselves comfortable. I would say that Braun probably carried the body off the ship because he didn't want to leave the body on the ship of the captain, and he wants to turn that in. So he's walking around with a big sack of dead captain over his shoulder. Outside of
Who
that, the dwarf is. Did anybody else grab anything else off the ship that you wanted to, or do anything else to the ship other than the scarf that you grabbed?
Grabbed all the papers,
Papers. Okay. Yep.
all the handouts he gave us.
Yep. Okay. All right. So then, yeah, you guys have basically made your way into Procampur, and you're safe and sound sleeping the night in a cellar in the harbor. Let's see.
Okay, that went pretty well.
You made it.
So far.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find this guy. I can't find his name. Huh. Yeah, I don't see him, but so I'll find it for next time. I'm sure I'll figure out what his name was. But you remember he was a Harper, and this was his home. And so he's very hospitable. He would definitely check in on you all to make sure that you're okay and whatnot. And then in the morning, does anyone have anything else they want to do this evening, as you are probably exhausted from your travel and all the stress of trying to get into the town and then just suddenly being here? Must feel like a relief. But is there anything else anyone wanted to do this evening before you got your rest?
I'm sure we would inquire whether he would know or not. Is questionable about, yeah, if he has any news on what's happening at the Agma temple. This Arvin, how bad is his corruption? Because that seems to be what's driving us back, right?
Yeah, so he would definitely give you his thoughts on it, that the it started in the temple district, but his deeds have moved beyond that and into our ruling class, where he has found his way and began to corrupt some of those who lead Procampur. So I know not how deep the rot goes, but I know that the temple district is a shell of its former self and not as hospitable as it once was. That is the most noticeable thing. Passing between the wards in the city now is also a lot more difficult than it was when we were here before. They implemented the Kurza rule, as we call it.
What is that?
They are doing full checks, and they are doing registrations and logs at all of the ward entries. So passage back and forth between different wards now is a lot more difficult. And so the Harpers, of course, we have some means to help you travel through town without these checkpoints.
But you're saying that we're not going to get through the checkpoints, most likely.
I won't.
I wouldn't risk it. As well disguised as you might be with the boot on your head, I wouldn't risk it. So it's just something he notices from afar, but the Harpers are working with the Augmans to try to help undermine what Arvin is doing. And yeah, he'll definitely fill you in on that. The other thing is that I'm having my friends remove your sails. It's quite bold
Yeah.
of you to come in here with that. I don't even
It
want to
was
know
either
what you
that or-
did. Don't even tell. And he looks at Kurzel directly. Don't even tell me what you did.
It was either that or row our way in.
So they do take some action to secure your vessel and do some maintenance on your vessel to make it appear as if it's just another normal visiting ship and treating it as such. So you get some assurances that your ship might be an asset for you for a while until maybe things fall apart. But for now, it seems secured and under Harper care in the harbor. And if we wanted to, we could go ahead and fast forward to the morning here, where our Harper friend is going to bring someone to meet with you. And
I have only one thought, really. Wherever I go, I leave death and destruction in my wake.
yeah,
No matter the town.
it's
Wait a minute. Except for that one little town where Molly's original character
Oh,
and I
yeah.
Raven's Bluff. Where
we left Raven's Bluff. That had a problem. I left death and destruction.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon
You're
Falls.
talking about Dragon Falls. Yeah, you're exactly
You're
right.
right.
Yep, you
That's
guys
the
are
one
like
place
well
that I
respected and admired in Dragon Falls, like nowhere else.
That's right.
Yeah, you're heroic.
Everywhere else, we're probably wanted and to be slaughtered.
That's
Or
true.
I am.
In the morning, you are awoke and you do hear some movement upstairs as the door opens, and again, down the staircase comes somebody, but this time it's not our Harper friend. It's actually somebody else you recognize. Not Eliana either. It is an old friend named Furbus, who is a dwarven druid who actually you met last time you escaped from Procampur as well. And he's a Harper.
Oh, yeah.
He is also a Harper. He operates a tavern and inn on the front line of the harbor, and he's the eyes that spotted your scarf. And he said, "Sorry, friends, that I couldn't greet you myself, but this type of business requires some stealth, as I see you have employed on your way into town."
We tried.
My respect to you for returning to the scene of the crime. But we are in a time of need. Procampur has come across some dark times since your departure, and Arvin must be stopped.
We're here to help.
I will be helping you pass through town, hopefully undetected. We will need to break up and travel in smaller groups, as we will garner quite a bit of attention with these numbers. However, I do have several ways that we can pass into different parts of the city. Eliana knows that you have arrived. I have sent word to her, and she has set up a rendezvous point for planning and let me pull up the map of Procampur. The good old map of Procampur. Wow, we have several here. Okay. All right. So you were in the Harbor District, the area, and I guess the rendezvous point that she's talking about for you will be in the Merchant District, which is just adjacent to the Temple District, which is the black one up here where the Temple of Agma is. He is going to basically be bringing you through a couple of underground tunnels to help pass through and get up to street level and then back to a safe house and underground to get through. So there's really a series of buildings that you're going to need to follow him to and then enter and go into districts. He basically will tell you that my lady awaits. If you are ready, we shall head to find her. And with that, I think he'll go ahead and escort you with disguises. Everybody will have their disguises on, and in fact, he may be able to help with some disguises for anyone else who may not feel good about their disguise, but he has you break up into groups of 3 and spread yourselves out and follow where he's in the middle group and giving direction, and basically brings you to another little home where you enter, and as you walk into the home, you actually see like a family inside of the home, and he like waves to them and just walks past them down a stairwell and into a basement tunnel that passes through the wall into the poor district, where then you can emerge from like a hovel inside of the poor district, where you could then continue to walk to the northern gate. So the poor district of Procampur, I don't know if you guys were in this district before. I think you guys might not have come into the poor district.
I think we
I don't know
avoided
that you
it.
had business here, so I don't know how to characterize it based on your prior visit, but it's pretty much squalor here. It's pretty rough. The conditions and the quality of the homes and the depravity that's on display in this little district looks nothing like anything else you've seen in this city. It is like just contained squalor and a lot of shady looking characters lingering about. Furbus doesn't look too worried about passing through the area. He seems pretty comfortable doing it. I think the NPCs though are looking a little shook. They're looking a little intimidated by walking through here. And even Braun, who's carrying the dead captain's body, is just, this is horrible. Let's get the hell out of here. And so you guys can make your way following Furbus towards the northeast, where there is a what looks to be like a little shop that's been boarded up. And he walks around back and opens a false door into the shop where it's just completely gutted. But then he opens a floorboard and exposes a ladder that leads you down to another tunnel. And this particular tunnel goes across and into a little deeper into the Adventurers District. It's not a small tunnel. So after a while, you guys do make your way up and into a structure inside of the Adventurers District. And this is where he says, we're going to lay low here for a while. I want to make sure no one's following us. And with that, he kind of leaves you guys here and is checking to make sure the coast is clear before proceeding further. You guys would remember the Adventurers District. So this is where you had stayed before. You purchased several things. You've been to multiple shops that have art for in the Adventurers District. I would say noticeably there's just not as many people as you remember being here before. It seemed pretty lively, pretty active, a lot of open storefronts. Not so right now. It looks pretty run down, pretty bare of adventurers and travelers, and not as vibrant as you remembered it being. So definitely this would be maybe the first time you've seen something that's noticeably changed in Procampur. Again, the poor district probably didn't give you a great feeling, but eventually, ultimately, you guys are able to make your way into the merchant district and find your way to the safe house where Eliana awaits. And she greets you and says, I'm impressed that you followed through on your promise. I will do everything in my power to make this right if you will help us. And I think that's where we'll pause this session, is in the planning phase with Eliana on the temple, and she'll give you at the beginning of next session, she'll break down the current situation at the temple and in the temple district. But from everything you gather this far, it's pretty much shut down. Like the doors in the temple district are closed. There are some patrols in the temple district, but they're not that frequent, so they are avoidable. But she has a way to get into the Temple of Agma. However, you guys will need to try to evade being seen on your way to the temple. So that's the biggest thing that you'll be planning with her, is how to get to the temple. Once you get to the temple, she can get you in. And from there, you guys can devise and execute a plan on how to acquire the crown or disrupt Arvin or whatever it is that you think is appropriate. All right. Anything anyone else wants to add before we pause for the evening?
So what she's saying is we get to desecrate a temple?
It's a great
Well,
consecrate.
it's already been desecrated by that crown,
Oh dear.
and now,
Reconsecrate. Okay.
yeah.
What I don't understand is like how much is the temple corrupted? You know what I mean? Obviously, you're not corrupted, and there must be others that we can count on as allies. Or
We do have allies, we do, but the temple itself is. I've not been able to explore it as I once was able to. So I don't know the extent of the corruption or what Arvin is doing, who else might be conspiring with him. We have had Harper's reporting comings and goings to the temple, but very sparingly, and it appears that those visiting are coming from the castle district.
And do you know anything about the other temples? Is there corruption in the other ones, the nearby, the neighboring, like the Timora? And I know we visited them when we were here last.
Yeah, the Timorans had their wits about them, and I would say they are to be trusted still. But again, the temple district is difficult to explore without prior plans and.
Because I still have my sister's Timoran trinket. Where she went, she got something. Yeah.
Yeah. So the corruption that, as far as is centered in the Agman temple, but the other temples just closed their doors because of the wickedness that was going on and the lack of visitors, and some of the other policies in Procampur have made it way more restrictive to do things. So the temples have shut their doors. Whether they locked their doors, she can't tell you. Maybe you can go into the temples, maybe you can visit them, but it does, from the looks of it, everyone has closed their door.
Okay.
If we can write what is going on in the Temple of Agma and with Arvin, I'm sure the others will aid us. But she'll talk more about them.
We need to destroy that crown, I think.
I agree.
So how do we do that, wizard?
Good question. You can destroy magic items yourself.
Let me ask you
just
this.
have to find a way to work together. What are the powers of this item?
I think Ileana will, she'll share that with you in a second, but this is probably like something she's been waiting to talk to you about for a long time. She might have a list of questions, including where did you find this crown? And she knows the answer, you think, because she's already talked to Baden. But she asks the question because she's trying to figure out also how to destroy it. I think there would be some discussion around that where she would want to understand its origin, where you found it. Ultimately,
tell her where we found it.
Ultimately, you would know, Kurza, that it was crafted in Mithnantar. And it was 3 separate crowns that were bound together into a single crown. And each of the crowns has a different effect. So she'll get more into what those effects she believes are, but she doesn't really know because the artifact was given to the temple in exchange for the Raised Dead services. And it became something that Arvin cherished and kept to himself. And so she's not spent time with it. She warned him.
Who is Arvin?
Arvin is the actual one who raised.
He raised.
Yeah, he's the one who raised. Yeah, so he
was the high priest. He is the high priest.
He's the high priest. Yeah, this is him here.
What's that?
So he actually raised, both of them from the dead, and now he is corrupt somehow, and he has the crown. He spent too much time with it, according to Ileana, and it controls him. It wears him. He doesn't wear it. Is her statement. So I think this would be, again, where she would want to learn more about the story of where you found it.
And these are more artifact level items, not just mere magical level.
Yeah, when you guys were trying to pay for the services, you kind of like
short.
You didn't have the money, so you're just like, here's all of our stuff. And of course, they saw the stuff and wanted the most powerful, expensive things to help pay or offset the cost of the service. And one of the things you gave them freely was the crown, right? So they didn't know, you didn't know, right? But it does several things intertwined together. It seems to do something even a little different. So she'll talk more to you about that in the next session where she'll kind of lay that out, what she knows about it. But I think if you guys are able to share with her how you found it, where you found it, which again, she knows, she's hoping you have more detail and more information about where it was actually found and what was the state it was in when you found it.
Yeah, it was sitting on a pedestal on display on the highest level of the
Veritas' tower.
Yep.
I see. What else was in the room? Was there not a reflection pool in the
There was a
room?
reflecting pool. Yep. There was a reflecting pool.
That's what Baden told me.
There was something else in there. The crown called to several people who were rented with us.
Who carried the crown when you found it? Who was the first to pick it up?
Mithra my sister put it on her head, and it was corrupting her. Yeah.
I see.
And then Griff ended up carrying it in the bag, right? Or was it not?
Yeah, I think it was Griff who took the crown, put it in the bag, refused to touch it.
Okay. So I think this would be, you would see her like really dwelling on the story of where it was found, who was the first to pick it up, who carried it. Some of those details she seems really interested in, as she seems like she's piecing together her theory of what all of this is, right? And so she basically will at some point bring in a couple of other augments as well who will be a part of the planning, and they would be allies of hers.
Because there's the adjacent room, right, that had the circle of sea elves
Yes,
that
the
was
Shellos.
slowly being drained of their life force over the millennia.
All right. Yeah, I think that this is a good stopping point where this way I can really give you set up like her complete findings and her theory on what is going on with the crown, and then also her suggestion on a plan of attack. Or she doesn't want to kill Arvin, so that isn't her goal here. She wants,
in fact, she probably wants him back, right?
And he
was a very important church member.
Yeah, and so she feels like he can be saved. Obviously, that's going to be something that's going to be tricky. So that's the rub here, that everybody's trying to come up with a plan on how to get the crown away from him, or somehow disable him long enough to offset things. So these are the planning conversations that will be going on throughout the course of this day, as you've spent the day, part of it traveling here stealthily, and then the rest of this day sort of planning your attack, if you will. But like I said, I'll go through more detail about what she knows and what she suggests are the best approaches, and then you guys can decide from there. Does anybody have anything else they want to ask or add to the scene?
At this point,
Can't think of anything.
Okay. No, I'm not either.
All right, welcome back to Procampur. Well, we're in town again. You guys might have things to do in town. That's
the
other thing.
victimizers of circumstance have returned.
Yeah, so you guys will have things that you would be able to benefit from here in town. So something else to think about, right? She could help you acquire supplies, get repairs, get training. So those are all things she would put on the table as well, because she wants you to roll in fully prepared. So think about that too between now and next session. But great job. You guys got through a pretty difficult situation. I think, again, it's getting into town. Coming back to the town where you're wanted is a bold move.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, to come back into town and to go for it and to trust your contacts that they're going to help you. It's cool, because I think now Ileana will really trust you guys. Like the fact that you followed through and you're here, and she doesn't have to do this alone. But she does seem really interested in Veritas' tower and the origin of the crown. And so she's going to ponder that and research that a little bit. And so that'll be part of what we'll include in the next one.
But the real question is, how are we going to do this? Right.
Yeah. She knows a couple of points of entry. Then once you're in, she's familiar with the layout. So you do have some inside information on navigating. But again, like I feel like the confrontation with him is the sticky part here. You confront him face to face? Do you try to sneak in and steal it? Do you try to disable him and do something? So yeah, there's probably several ideas floating around, including from your new NPC friends that have joined your group here. So I'm going to move your captives. I'm going to change their name from captives to the marked and move them into your party folders, since they will be, for at least the next couple of sessions or until you decide to part ways, they'll be a part of your group here.
Party. Yeah.
I think Kerma should make known his choice of, if I'm killed again, just reincarnate me. That way I won't necessarily come back as the very same identical looking person.
Yeah, I think it'll be safer for everybody that way.
It's all good.
Yeah, so I moved them into hirelings and followers, the 4 that you saved, the marked that you saved. I'll start to fill out some of their details more and give you guys full access. You can control them as well going forward. Real quick on Vergrum. Vergrum was a 12th level fighter.
Wow.
He had an 1884 strength.
Damn.
Wow, and then party beat him last session?
No, you guys just killed him in his sleep, or you killed him.
Yeah.
You know,
No, but I mean, how did we capture it?
They fireballed him and whatever
beat
else.
Him down.
Yeah, beat him down. And
I think that was mainly due to Nod.
yeah,
and those little things he throws.
The darts of death. Yeah.
Okay.
When you throw a dart with 24 strength, it does a lot of damage. That was fun.
Straight.
If you guys had fun, I had fun.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
we'll do it again next week, hopefully.
Right. Thanks for me.
Thank you.
Cool.
Take care, guys.
Good to see everyone.
Good night.
That tale was mostly true, and this one's mostly too. For the sea remembers you, but forgets the lies you knew. Oh, they say we're wanted in Procampur. They say our luck is running out. When you get lost in the Underdark, will anyone hear you shout? Do you ever stop and wonder what's beneath the sea of fallen stars?